Wimbledon, southwest London. Moduloft have started work on a unique project for the company. They're installing a loft conversion which spans across 2 semi-detached properties. This is a first for Moduloft to be providing conversions for both neighbours Steve Pryor and John Stevenson. However, this project started out as something slightly different.
We were in the process of putting a traditional roof extension on because we were unable to do a moduloft because we are a semi-detached property, and my previous neighbours were not in a position to do the moduloft extension that I wanted to do. We literally had the scaffolding erected to do a traditional loft conversion, which is builders and people on site for 3 months plus, depending on how things go.
With the traditional conversion project agreed with Moduloft, Steve's neighbour decided to put their property on the market.
The estate agent had mentioned to us that the neighbour was looking to do a loft conversion, and it's something we were very keen to do. That's one of the reasons why we bought the property, because of the opportunities we felt that were there to extend it.
John looked at the plans for Moduloft, bought into the project in the same way that I did, could see the advantages, the pros.
He said, there's this company that build it off-site, and I was like, so. But then when he said drastically reduces the amount of time that you have to have the on-site build, which with 3 young boys having scaffolding up for 4 or 5 months wasn't really that appealing, if I'm being honest. But the other great thing about it as well is you were able to slightly increase the height of the roof from a traditional loft conversion, and that was very appealing. So he then got in touch with Andrew from Moduloft.
I sort of said, Andrew, take the scaffolding down, we're not doing the conventional loft conversion anymore. I could imagine his patience might have been a little bit short, but fortunately my very next breath was, we're doing a double loft conversion with the Moduloft solution, so probably by the end of the sentence he was happy again.
As part of the contract, Moduloft can and did handle all the planning applications and building regulations for each project. For Steve and John, this meant that there were no delays in the build. Customers are invited to the factory in North Yorkshire to customise the bespoke builds as they're being manufactured. This is a great opportunity for customers to physically walk around the space before it arrives on site. Everything for the conversion is installed. The new space is fully plastered and with all electrical and plumbing work complete, ready to be connected to existing services. Both properties were having different room space in the new loft space. Not a problem for Moduloft, as each project is bespoke to the customer.
You hear the name, you see the website, stuff like that, but when you go and see a huge factory like that, and with so many jobs being done at the same time, it just gives you confidence. Straight away you realise that this is a big organisation who clearly can handle some impressive lofts. I mean, one of the ones we saw being built up there was enormous.
We both got back on the train to London that evening, in silence, because we just didn't know what to say, and I mean that in an absolutely positively good way. It was phenomenal to see this project being built from nothing off-site.
What it allows you to do is allows you to really, rather than just sort of imagine what it's going to be like, to actually feel the space inside. I had no idea it was going to be so big. I mean, I'm a relatively tall guy, and I could only just touch the ceiling of the loft. Now, that's not what normally happens in loft conversions. Loft conversions, you normally hands flush on the ceiling and stuff like that. So it was good. We got to meet the different parts of it, so the plumber, we got to meet the electrician and that, just where do you want your plugs, where do you want your lights. It was really cool.
Moduloft pride themselves on the very highest standards of workmanship. This is both with the manufacturing in the factory and also during the build. One of the major advantages of the Moduloft build is minimal disturbance, offering speed and convenience to homeowners. In an urban environment, this is key. During the construction, Moduloft had to close the road for only 2 days. Consideration for surrounding residents was also extremely important.
All the workers are a great bunch of guys, the neighbours haven't really complained, to be fair, so obviously they're not making too much noise, which is good.
People complain historically about how the British workforce is a disgrace compared to other European workforces, and I can tell you that in this particular example it is completely the opposite. These guys are polite, they turn up on time, their work ethic is second to none, and they deliver exactly what they say they're going to deliver.
The Wimbledon build went exactly to plan. The first module had to be carefully placed alongside the central chimney stack, which was staying in place. Once this was correct, the remaining modules could be lifted onto the roof. 7 lorries worked continually to bring the modules down from North Yorkshire. The modules had to arrive on time to make sure there weren't any delays in the lifting schedule.
Yeah, a bit of rain last night, but absolutely fine. Yeah, it's been really good, warm, still, it's all we need.
Once they were in place, roofing work began to make sure that the modules were watertight. By the end of day 1, all the modules on Steve Pryor's roof were in place.
And I'm still staggered standing here today that this crane only arrived yesterday and put this roof on that you can see behind you, my side of the property, in one day.
It is quite weird seeing your bedroom come down the street on the back of a lorry. That's something you won't get to do every day, I suppose. And but actually seeing it being lifted onto the roof, it's quite majestic actually. I couldn't believe it. The view from up there and just how big the space felt when I was inside it. I know my wife's going to be pretty excited when she gets to eventually go up there.
The rest of the build was finished ahead of schedule. The remaining modules on John Stevenson's roof were lifted into place, completing the lift part of this Moduloft project. The road was opened ahead of the planned time, meaning that the neighbours had been affected for less than 48 hours. Another successful build for the UK's leading manufacturer of factory-built loft conversions that are tailor-made to the customer's specification.
If you are embarking on any project like this, then why would you not ring these guys first? Why do you want 3.5 months of builders in your house disrupting you and the street and the mess? We've done this in 2 weeks.
I couldn't recommend them highly enough, and I will be recommending them to anybody who's considering doing a loft conversion, whether it be in partnership with their neighbour, as I'm doing, or whether it's just to have a traditional loft conversion.
Moduloft offer a complete bespoke build on all their projects. For Steve Pryor, the brief was to provide 3 additional rooms. These were going to be 2 bedrooms and an additional space. He also wanted a fully fitted bathroom. John Stevenson's requirements were slightly different. His design was for a new master bedroom. He also wanted an ensuite bathroom. The rest of the internal space was going to be some impressive walk-through wardrobes. These 2 projects were built in 9 weeks, delivered and lifted in 2 days, and the install team on site for 4 weeks. Moduloft offer a complete bespoke build on all projects. The challenge for this residential project was to design and build 2 individual internal living spaces whilst working to identical external specifications. The end result demonstrates that Moduloft are experts in design, build and completion to a very high standard.